In the serene yet imposing landscapes of the Austrian Alps, perched at an altitude of 10,000 feet, lies a less known, almost enigmatic tourist destination. This place, accessible only via a gondola or a challenging hike for the particularly determined, strikes an awe-inspiring balance between its breathtaking beauty and subtle yet ever-present reminders of its potential perils. Today, I bring you a harrowing story from this remote location, one that is shadowed with mystery. On a crisp morning of August 9th, 1989, Duncan McPherson, a 23-year-old Canadian, parked his little red car in a valley blanketed by the lush greenery of Austria. Duncan, a once promising hockey star destined for greatness, was selected as a first-round draft pick by the New York Islanders in 1984. But the tides of fortune didn't turn in his favor, and despite his undeniable talent and athleticism, he never secured a spot on the Islanders' main roster. Realizing that his professional hockey career might be drawing to a close, Duncan, instead of succumbing to frustration, decided to pivot towards a coaching role. In 1989, he made a commitment to coach a small-time professional hockey team in Scotland. Before embarking on this new journey, Duncan decided to press pause and take a much-needed break. He planned an extensive European vacation, a breather from his life dedicated to hockey, and the Austrian Alps were first on his list. Upon reaching the gondola station near the Stubai Glacier Ski Resort, Duncan purchased a ticket and embarked on a journey upward. The resort was unique, not just for its remote location, accessible only by the gondola or a strenuous hike, but also for its glacier slopes that allowed skiing year-round. The resort used heavy machinery to convert the thick ice into a skiable powder, a feature that distinguished it from other ski resorts. Duncan, eager to learn snowboarding, rented his gear and soon met his instructor. The instructor, quickly recognizing Duncan's natural athletic ability, complimented his rapid progress. They practiced the basics on flat ground before ascending the glacier. However, the weather had other plans. As their lesson progressed, rain began to pour, eventually giving way to a dense fog covering the mountainside. The instructor noticed Duncan's soaked attire and offered to dry his sweater in his office. Duncan, in the meantime, purchased a new sweater from the resort's gift shop. After a lunch filled with lighthearted conversation and shared anticipation for the next day's lesson, the instructor encouraged Duncan to practice solo, given his commendable progress. The next day, the instructor arrived early, coffee in hand, expecting Duncan to join him. However, Duncan was nowhere to be found. Back in Canada, Duncan's parents received an alarming phone call from the Dundee Tigers, the Scottish hockey team awaiting Duncan's arrival. Duncan had not shown up for his first day of work. Alarmed and confused, Duncan's parents filed a missing person report and embarked on a daunting journey across Europe in search of their son. For weeks, they tirelessly distributed flyers and followed every possible lead. About a month into their search, their efforts led to a breakthrough. A news segment in Austria mentioned a little red car, the same car Duncan was driving, found abandoned near the Stubai Glacier gondola. The police, now fully engaged, organized a large-scale search operation. In an unexpected twist of fate, Duncan's parents encountered his snowboard instructor at a local hotel. The instructor, recognizing Duncan from the flyer, recounted their last meeting, but could offer no clue about his whereabouts after they had their lunch. The search party scoured the mountain's terrain, delving into every crevasse and shadow the glacier offered, but to no avail. Duncan's parents continued their search for 14 years, never losing hope, always returning to the glacier, hoping for some clue and some closure. Fast forward to July of 2003. A ski resort employee, riding the tow rope, spotted a bright yellow object on the slope. Initially mistaken for trash, this turned out to be Duncan's jacket, and beneath it, preserved in the ice, lay Duncan's body, still looking like the 23-year-old who vanished all those years ago. The discovery was gruesome. Duncan's body showed signs of being mutilated, likely by a snowcat tractor that's used to groom the slopes. The prevailing theory, pieced together from the evidence available, suggests that Duncan, after his lunch with the instructor, ventured out for a solo run. In the dense fog, he likely took a fall, breaking his leg. Unable to move and invisible in the fog, Duncan lay helpless on the slope. At the same time, a snowcat tractor was out grooming the ice. Due to the reduced visibility, the driver, unaware, ran over Duncan. Panicked and fearing repercussions, the driver hid Duncan's body in a deep crevasse, an act of desperation that locked the truth in the ice for over a decade. The theory further suggests that in a state of shock and fear, the snowcat driver, after accidentally mutilating Duncan with the tractor's rotating blades, made a fateful decision. Instead of seeking help, the driver, shrouded in anonymity provided by the fog, decided to conceal the accident. Duncan, who was possibly still alive, albeit severely injured, was tied up and dragged off the slope to a secluded area known for its deep crevasses. The driver disposed of Duncan's body, along with his severed arm and leg, into one of the deep crevasses. To erase any traces, the driver used the snowcat to pack and smooth over the ice, effectively burying Duncan under a frozen shroud. For 14 years, Duncan's fate remained a mystery, his story becoming a whispered legend among the locals and staff at the glacier resort. His parents, fueled by a relentless quest for answers, returned to the Alps year after year. They scoured every part of the mountain, got to know every trail, every staff member, and every possible hideaway, yet they found nothing. The discovery in 2003 was both a closure and a new source of agony for Duncan's family. The well-preserved state of his body was a stark reminder of their loss, as if time had stood still for Duncan while the world had moved on. The mutilated condition of his body and snowboard pointed to a chilling narrative, one that contradicted the initial assumption of a simple disappearance. Investigation into the snowcat driver who might have been responsible hit a dead end. The statute of limitations had expired, with no concrete evidence pointing to a specific individual. The case grew cold. No one at the resort came forward with information, and the identity of the person responsible for Duncan's tragic end remains unknown. Duncan's story is a haunting reminder of the unpredictability and dangers that can lurk in nature's most beautiful settings. It serves as a cautionary tale, emphasizing the need for vigilance and preparedness in the face of nature's whims. His parents, though heartbroken, found some solace in finally knowing what happened to their son, but the unanswered questions and the absence of justice leave a lingering sense of injustice. The Austrian Alps, with their breaking vistas and serene landscapes, continue to attract visitors from around the world. But for those who know the story of Duncan McPherson, the mountain also holds a somber tale, a tale of adventure turned tragedy, and a family's unwavering search for the truth amidst the frozen peaks.